If you are watching the national briefing on Facebook or YouTube, I have that buckwheat shock face, and it will probably be here for days. What happened with the Knicks last night? Unbelievable 29-point comeback, the biggest comeback in playoff history. And now I can't wait for Saturday night. They'll be playing the Spurs in San Antonio. Then Sunday night, unless somehow they're able to stop it, we'll have the UFC fight. It's going to be a great weekend. Welcome into the National Briefing. Hi there, it's Kelly Nash. And as we continue to try to make America great again, one of the key pillars of that is the immigration. The lack thereof, it had been an open border for years. Those people who came across must go home. Donald Trump made that very clear. The American people agreed with him. However, since that election, we have had nonstop lies being spread by the left to try to keep their beloved illegals here. We already know why they want them here. Well, you know what? I shouldn't say that. But there's several reasons why they want the left wants these people here. One is they're trying to establish a voter base. We already know that in California and other places, they're allowed to vote in the local elections, although not the federal elections, allegedly. They also want, the point of the Democrat Party is to get victims. If we can create a victim class, then we can provide help. If everybody was self-sufficient, there's no need for the Democrat Party at all. They really have no purpose on earth other than to try to create victims and then fix the problem. It's kind of like the whole Southern Poverty Law Center. Until we can create the racist hate, we have nothing to solve. So our mission is completely null and void. So they need to create victims. The best way to get victims is to bring in people from third world countries. And now they don't speak the language. They don't have a culture. They don't have anything. They're just sitting out here going, help me, feed me, please. And then they can point to them and go, don't you have any humanity? Fix this. We got to fix this. All right. Isn't that kind of what Mamdani said this week? Let's listen to Mr. Mayor Mamdani.
We have heard time and again threats of increases in immigration enforcement across our city. I want to be very clear about the fact that I believe that ICE raids are cruel. They are inhumane. They do nothing to serve in the interests of public safety. I've shared that directly with the president. I've shared that in public. It is a feeling that many New Yorkers share. And I also do believe that ICE as an entity is one that should be abolished and that we should return to an immigration system that has more humanity at the heart of it.
Okay, Mayor Mamdani and Kathy Hochul, she's rallying. So New York is all in on we got to get rid of ICE because they're cruel. They abuse people, blah, blah. I saw some stat yesterday on MS-13 Now, the gang-loving station. Up to 500 babies have been taken into custody. I'm wondering, did we put the zip ties on their little baby wrists as they're not even big enough to perp walk. Can we perp crawl the babies back to the border? Is that what they think is happening here? Somehow I know that's going to be edited out and somebody's going to put that on their podcast and say, listen to these far-right nut jobs. They want to perp crawl the babies back to the border. All right, let me talk to you about humanity. There is a large swath of American taxpayers who are getting screwed by the federal government. And what I mean by that is these people pay into a system. I understand a lot of them don't want to pay into it, but they are paying into it. And the hopes of when they pay into it is that our children, our seniors, our people who need help will receive the help. As with all money, it's limited. It's finite. It's not an infinity type of thing. There's not an unlimited amount of money. So whatever we pay in, we want that to go towards Americans. What's happening is it's not going to Americans. It's going to your humanity project. So it'd be like if you're paying into some fund to help out, I don't know, your school, say, and instead the money doesn't go to your school. They take the money from your school and they give it to the other school. Now, my school's suffering. I'm trying to figure out a way to explain this to the left so that they can grasp this concept that Americans are trying to help Americans. We have other ways of trying to help people from around the world. There's lots of different ways that Americans donate, contribute, volunteer, all those types of things to try to help other people. We are the most charitable nation in the history of the world. Think about that. The United States of America, as long as they've been recording world history, there has never been a country more charitable than the one that was created 250 years ago. That's our legacy. And yet they act as if we're the most stingiest people on earth. We got to drag us begging and screaming to try to help other people. No, that is not real. Whether it's trying to get clean water in Africa, whether it's fighting wars for other nations to try to protect them from, crazed communists, we do so much. But Mamdani says it's not enough. Mamdani says ICE is cruel. Kathy Hochul agrees. She's the governor. She doesn't want to work with ICE. She doesn't want ICE in her state. She wants them gone. Well, Tom Homan had other thoughts. And I think that Tom is making a great point on PR here.
She talks about sanctuary cities. We don't want them arresting people in churches or schools or hospitals. Well, Governor Hochul, give me one example. Just one. Anywhere in the United States where ICE has arrested somebody in a hospital, arrested somebody in an elementary school, arrested somebody in a church. That didn't happen. But that type of messaging to the American people that increases the threats against ICE because people think, I can't believe they're going in churches and arresting people.
See, I mean, this is... They lie. It's like, remember back in the day, 2000s, Bush lied and people died. That was their big phrase. Here's what we have happening right now. The left lies and people die. We all remember the National Guardsman who was shot in D.C. We've had attacks on numerous ICE officers. We've had bombings at ICE agencies. Remember that? I mean, this is because of the lies of the left. They are lying to the American people about what is the mission of ICE, why it's so important, and how they're executing it. ICE is not cruel and unusual. ICE is actually doing the will of the American people, which is to restore law and order. And to Mamdani's earlier point about they're not making it any safer. Did you not notice? Maybe perhaps Mayor Mamdani did not notice that when he came into office, it was on the eve of the announcement that the United States of America just had the largest drop in crime in American history. 1 year into the Trump administration, I don't want to say they've solved crime because it's clearly not the case, but the largest drop in murders and armed attacks and all that. Why do you think that is? What happened in 2025? What difference was being made? Thousands, hundreds of thousands, and by some estimates, millions of illegal aliens were removed from our country. That has an impact. That has a massive impact. And as we continue to go through this, more and more of the U.S. tax dollars are going to get to the people in the United States who are U.S. citizens who desperately need the help. It's not as if the conservatives are like this heartless group of people. They just want to help our own. It's like you're asking me to take money from my grandmother and not give it to my grandmother who desperately needs it and give it to somebody I've never met. Basically, like a 28-year-old who just crawled into my city. Why do I need to give that 28-year-old something when my grandmother is desperate for food, clean water, help, nursing, all of those things? You don't want to help my grandmother. You want to help somebody I've never even met. This is insane. We're here to help Americans. Americans help Americans first. Then whatever we have left over, we help the other people. We're not putting foreign nationals first. We're not doing it. And stop pushing that narrative that we're doing something cruel and unusual to the people who did break into our country. We are returning them humanely to where they're from. That's all this is. And the more you lie about it, the more dangerous the situation gets.
In a culture drowning in spin and censorship, this is your lifeboat, the National Briefing.